I'm not being loud enough. It can't pick me up. And I know the intro's done, but I can't stop now. All right.
I miss
Episode.
I miss our theme song, but I can't get flagged for DCMA every time we go on the air. That'd be bad.
Well, you got flagged, on your latest painting video or whatever.
Wow. Well,
You
we're
owe them
not
all the credit.
we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's Sunday. It's 4-ish o'clock, and welcome to the Those Two Nerds podcast slash chat
Yeah.
slash I don't know
Catch up time.
variety show, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'm about to get the hot tub out and become one of those bikini streamers on the Just Chatting.
Uh, I am Nictus, joined by the ever so wonderful and lovely and fantastic human being, Beer Coach.
Indeed, I am your coach. You got my name right. Good job. You have passed your test for the day. That's the only test you had. You passed.
Well, I would hope at this point that I know both your real identity and your online persona.
What was I watching? It was on TikTok. Obviously, like I love TikTok, big advocate because you talked about identity and it literally sparked it right in my head. I don't know if it's real or not, but like it was a Batman animated series type thing, and it had
Mhm.
the Joker, and the one guy ripped off Batman's mask,
Mhm.
and Joker's like, "Well, why would you do that? Half of our relationship is the mystery of knowing who he is. Now that I know he's just some billionaire, like I don't care." And like it was kind of funny. I was like, I don't know if this is real or not. One, because I don't like follow the animated series, but if it wasn't, they did a hell of a job.
Speaking of DC and the shenanigans at DC Comics,
Yeah.
have you watched the Snyder Cut?
No. Nope.
It was really good. I don't really know even what else to say about it. It was really good. I expected it
Yep.
to be kind of boring. I mean, you're talking like 4 hours of your life. I think the full runtime is like 4 hours and like 1 minute or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's long. So
I mean, that's the thing.
I broke it up over 2 nights, right? Like
Well,
because
that's what
four
they
hours of my
recommend.
day is like it's a lot. Unless it's Return of the King, I can sit and watch Return of the King extended cut. I can do that.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's what they recommend. Even when you watch the movie, because there is a break period in there. It
Mhm.
even says like Act Two or whatever. Almost like kind of like how a play or something like that. And I mean, again, I don't think 4-hour movies are meant to be watched in one sitting. Just because like your attention span, like even if it's a great movie, you got to think over an hour and a half of that movie is probably just like some fucking dialogue.
Um, a lot of time. I mean, yeah, a lot of the times it is, but it's like when I was thinking about the 4 hour time period, it kind of reminded me that I mean, we all have done it. We've sat down and watched like 4 hours of a television show, right?
Oh yeah,
Like we binge watch, an anime, or we binge watch a sitcom or a medical drama or CSI or whatever. Like you watch it, and you'll watch
for sure,
6, 7, 8 hours of it in a day, right?
for sure. Yeah,
So and then people are like, "Well, I can't invest 4 hours of my life into watching this." And I said,
yeah,
you watched 18 episodes of Grey's Anatomy the other day. I think you can sit and watch 4 hours of this movie with
and
one,
that's
a better budget and two much better actors in it. So,
oh, I don't know about that one. I can't lie, I do enjoy that show. But are you excited for next weekend?
I am. I am. I'm still like,
Like,
do I want to go to the theater or do I just want
oh
to do it
no,
on
no,
my
no, it's
110
not.
inch at home?
No, you're not. You're not. Because one, you need to finish Demon Slayer. Because that comes out. The movie comes out this Thursday. I am going. I'm buying my
Well,
ticket.
I can't go to the movies twice this week
Why?
because I can't.
How can you not?
I can't
How can you not go to the movie theater twice?
because I can't.
What?
It's a financial thing. Like I can't. It's not within my budget. I can't afford to go twice.
What?
What do
I
you mean
will
what?
buy your ticket. We
No,
are
no, no.
going.
It's an issue. Either we're gonna go see Demon Slayer or we're gonna go watch Mortal Kombat. But I can't do both.
I'm. I don't. And what are you talking about? I will make sure you see both. I don't care if I have to buy both tickets. And
I am also not all the way caught up with Demon Slayer yet.
okay, fine. Well, I'll put it this way. I am putting it on the agenda. I am seeing Demon Slayer Thursday night. I will offer it out to anybody that wants to go. So far, it's just me and Maggie. And then Friday night, Maggie works. I'm going to see Mortal Kombat.
I wonder how like busy the theaters are going to be
It's
with a movie that big.
so with Mortal Kombat, yes, I would say the movie theater will be. It will be busy, but I don't think it will be like what we think. It's still going to be obviously a limited number of seats
Oh, absolutely,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. I mean, even if they cut it down to half capacity, because I would say there's probably 4 or 5 feet in between. If you do the double seats, you do a double seat, break in between another double, somebody sits on the other double. Like that's pretty good spacing. I mean, those seats are at least 2.5 feet wide. I mean, it's probably 5, 6 feet in between each seat. Or sets. So like I said, I'm gonna go see both. Now for the Demon Slayer movie, I don't know. Like that's the biggest like hit or miss because I remember when we saw shouldn't say we, I went to the Dragon Ball movie and that came out like day one and everybody loves Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So like that wasn't that packed.
And like no one was there. But we did go at like a weird time too. We went at like
I mean we went at
9
like
o'clock
I was gonna say it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock
and the theater that they had it in, I thought was pretty big.
It was so. I think it will be on the. I think it's what is it, the IMAX screen or whatever it is, whatever the big screening is. That will have Mortal Kombat. Demon Slayer will probably be on just a normal theater screen.
Yeah, I assumed as much. I don't see that drawing the amount of people. So how long is Demon Slayer supposed to even be in the theater run? I mean,
so
you screwed up your camera.
I let my mouse die. God damn it. I know it's at least running this weekend for sure. I will check on it. I'm actually just gonna turn my camera while I fix this real quick. All right, we're gonna fix it. We go fix it. So it's running this weekend, and I believe the weekend after that it will run. Demon Slayer. Okay. I mean, like I said, I think they're expecting actually pretty good numbers on this. So from what I'm seeing on, it looks like until Wednesday of next the 28th is as far as it goes for.
So it looks like it's going for about 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's going to have not quite a standard release, but it should be. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a great movie. I think it's going to be. Japan, it blew up. It blew up in Japan. Obviously, like they're really big into anime and that genre and stuff. But it did fairly well.
Now they are doing both the dubbed and the subbed versions in the theater release, correct?
So from what I know is they don't do dubbed for Demon Slayer.
They have dubbed. I've watched it on Netflix.
Okay. Well, then so like I said, I believe because when I started watching the show, it was only in Japanese. Now this was obviously before they put it on Netflix, so like I said, that could have changed, and I would assume so, just to maybe try to pull more of a crowd. I don't see the point in it not being dubbed.
Right. It says the subbed and the dubbed versions will be coming to theaters.
Okay, so that's good. Like I said, me personally, I want the subtitles.
Sometimes I have a hard time watching stuff with subtitles. Sometimes I don't mind it. Like when I was watching Attack on Titan.
It's the voices.
I couldn't get into Attack on Titan with the subtitles. Dude. Couldn't. I had to watch that one dubbed.
So Attack on Titans. I've noticed, and like I said, I've been doing my thing. I've been watching a little bit more anime. Like I started watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
That's actually on HBO Max.
Yep, Attack on Titans. I've been watching that. But Attack on Titans, I cannot watch at nighttime. it's too stressful
Oh,
to watch that show.
it's a
Like
stressful show. Yeah.
like, you have to emotionally be attached to watch it, like, you have to be fully focused in because a lot happens. It's not like, you know, how you're saying with obviously reading subtitles and, like, trying to still visualize what's going on
There's just so much
sometimes.
going on in that show sometimes,
Yeah.
and the action is so fast, right?
Oh, it's
That
badass, yeah.
when if you blink for a second,
Oh, you missed something.
you missed something that was really important that they said.
Yeah. So like I said, I mean, that's my plan for next week. I am seeing Demon Slayer. I'm so excited because one, there hasn't been that many trailers for it. It's only had like one or two trailers. Mortal Kombat, I think, just released their second trailer, was like get to know the character type thing. Like it was a little bit more in depth about Jax, Sonya, and stuff. And my buddies that play Mortal Kombat 11 like religiously, like would straight up beat my ass on a daily basis. Um, they're pumped for it. They're like, "Oh, dude, we're gonna go see Mortal Kombat. Like, did you see Jax get his arms ripped off by a Sub Zero?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I kind of watched the trailer. You didn't tell me anything I didn't know. I think the whole world knows. I think even newborns known that Jax gets his arms ripped off." So
Yeah, I really enjoyed what I've seen so far from the trailer. Um, I would consider myself I would say I'm a pretty big fan of combat, but I don't play as much as I used to because I think the community is super toxic and so when I play I'm a super I guess you would call me a casual player, but I'm a big fan of combat.
yeah,
Like I like to watch the
I'm telling you,
tournaments and I like to watch Twitch streamers stream it and
yeah,
I still pick it up and I still play it, but you know I play by myself. I don't or me and you will play every now and then.
yeah.
Um,
I will say, watching people play Mortal Kombat that are really decent, like the skill gap is so high. I mean, it's just like in any fighting game. The casual player to the player that's like trying to be good is insane. Like the amount of time they spend in that practice tool, like getting the combo down, like corner, like basically making you the corner bitch, and it's impressive. Like I said, it's fun to
there's
watch.
like three things when you're going to get into a game like Smash or Combat or Tekken or Street Fighter or you know Killer Instinct or any of the
Yeah.
big fighting games and the one is like the basics, right? It's the
Oh
basics
yeah.
of what your character like what pretty much every character can do, the basic attacks, the basic movement, basic blocks, basic jumps, basic if there's dashes, things like that. You need to master that stuff first, right? Like before you try to get good at the game as far as doing special moves
Oh,
and
that's for
combos
sure.
and stuff. So that's how you can tell the difference between a pro and someone who does not play that often, right? So like you might be pretty good in your little group of friends or whatever, but when they open these games up to online, you realize just how not good you are at the game because yeah, you can beat little Timmy and you can beat Johnny down the street, but now you're playing against
Not Johnny down the street.
you're playing against these like people in different countries in different parts of the world
Yeah.
who have a lot more time to play it or they just are more inept at it. They have just better reflexes or better timing or their internet is better or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
now all of a sudden Timmy and
It,
Johnny seem not very very tough at all and you're getting
yeah,
thrashed.
it's definitely really cool because, like I said, I mean, with those games, it's like it's fun at all skill levels. Even if you're terrible and like all you do is do the uppercut or the same move, like I think Mortal Kombat over time, just from playing it in past, it caters more to, you know, more of the casual player, I would say, just by teaching you like the basic move sets and stuff like that. Like the ladders are better. There's more to do in the game. Like the story in MK11 is amazing to actually go through and play. But it's the same way for Injustice. Like Injustice, like the story in Injustice is badass. You know, it's not all just like, "Hey, let me just, like, rip your face off." It's, you know, it's like, "Hey, they added some nice dialogue." Like, "Man, I'm kinda touched when I, like, have to beat up this person." Like, it has to go down.
One of my favorite things,
So
I think, one of my favorite Mortal Kombat experiences was not too long ago. It was right after I moved. Your two sisters, they played, and they're not fighting game people, right? Like, I think probably the last combat they played was something on the N64 or something like that. So
yeah.
they turned it on, and they were playing, and they're at the exact same skill level, right? They don't know anything about the game. They know no special moves. They know nothing. None of them even knew how to block. They didn't know anything about the game. and it was fun watching them just thrash each other, right? Like that was,
Well, I mean,
to me, that was entertaining. I could have watched that for 6 or 7 hours of just them. But then you see like little things, like they pick little things up, like
yeah,
they go, all right, well, she can't block this one attack, so I'm gonna keep doing that until she figures out how to stop it, and then like so it's pretty fun to watch them
definitely
kind of
turns
evolve.
definitely turns into a game of cat and mouse for sure. Which is, like I said, it's pretty interesting. And like I said, I mean, the general point is I'm hyped for next week. Next week is going to be awesome. I'm super excited. It's going to be the first time I go back to the theaters. I'm going twice. And I mean, I'm going to lay back in the seat and just enjoy Demon Slayer, enjoy combat. Hell, I might even go again to see both of them again.
I
Salty
think
run
my
back.
thing is like I go to work and I have to wear a mask for 8 hours a day. I don't know that I really want to sit around and watch a movie and wear a mask too.
So you don't have to, from what I know.
But you do, unless you're eating or drinking. And honestly, you should. I mean,
So this
let's
was
not kid
actually
ourselves. You should.
it was actually kind of funny. I was, kind of reading something, and it was kind of weird. Like, I don't know how much of the information was true. Like, it's Twitter, for God's sakes. Like, you never know. Um, it's like I keep my distance, and that's pretty much just how I go about it. And it's who knows. I'm going. I mean, I think it's gonna be fun. I think seeing Mortal Kombat in theaters, and don't get me wrong, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. I'm not forcing you. I'm just telling you, you have to go.
Oh, I think we know between the two of us, I'm the least likely to get forced into doing anything that I don't want to do.
Yeah, definitely no
Thanks
means no
for the
with you.
like, Gabe. We appreciate it, man. Look at that. We got one of
Um,
our family members to come and watch the show for a change. So
it's
Gabe is getting something sweet for Christmas, and the rest of y'all, nothing. You ain't getting nothing.
well, they would never know. They're not getting nothing, considering they're not watching.
That's right. But I'm putting it out there. Episode 80. What episode around here? 80, 88. I stated that the rest of my family gets nothing good for Christmas.
Pack it up and ship it. So interesting things for the week. We're gonna move to a different topic here. Interesting things of the week. What'd you do this week? Like, what was anything fun?
This week I a lot of tabletop gaming. I went back in pretty hardcore at Arkham Horror. Um, game is just it's probably one of the single best games I've ever played,
Yeah,
and that's a hard thing to say or state because I've played a lot of games in my life, but
but you can make that opinion because you have played a lot of games.
and I mean and I think Gloomhaven's great, and I think that Dungeons and Dragons is great, but Dungeons and Dragons to me is not really like a tabletop game. I don't really consider that like the same kind of thing because Dungeons and Dragons has a lot of different elements, so I can't really include that.
Yeah,
Because if you're just talking about the greatest game I've ever played, it would probably be Dungeons and Dragons. But just like a tabletop board game slash card game slash whatever, yeah, I'd say Arkham Horror it's got to be right up there. It's got to be in the top two two of the best games probably ever, with maybe Magic being
yeah.
somewhere up in there too. I don't know because
So,
Magic feels toxic anymore to me. I just get angry while I play it.
so it was actually kind of funny. I was actually sitting here and thinking about picking one up. I was doing a little research because Dungeons and Dragons. I know how much we love it. I know how much we love the tiles and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I actually found a person's profile through like the CNC machines to make the cuts and the prints and stuff like that. I found all these molds for free.
Mhm.
And I mean, I'm talking stone walls,
Oh yeah.
castles, all this stuff. And I was like, damn, if I had a little extra money.
That's the thing though, right? Like I don't have a lot of extra money, so
Yeah.
and I'm trying to budget things a little bit better because I don't have a lot of extra money and I want to get more stuff I want, but it's
Takes time. Takes
but
time.
but yeah, I'd say I've done a lot of tabletop gaming. Then this weekend I've played a lot of Marvel Champions because Galaxy's
Mhm.
Most Wanted came out a couple weeks ago and I haven't really had a chance to. hammer
Yeah,
down and play it. And so I started the campaign yesterday. I started pretty late at night, so I only got through the first scenario. But I did win. I did win the first scenario. And now
that's
I'm
good.
on scenario 2 against the collector, and he has beat my face in 6 times already. So it's been a really good time.
Nice. I uh, I do need to step back into Marvel Champions, but I am now officially a tabletop gamer. I bought my first tabletop game that wasn't D&D, and that's actually a tabletop. I bought Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. I was gonna buy just Gloomhaven, like the base game and stuff like that. I was at Target, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go inside here. I'm gonna see what they have. I bet they don't even have anything like that. I go in. I mean, fully intent. Like I was looking for a board game. Like I was looking for a fun one, like an actual just fun board game. It didn't even have to be Gloomhaven. That was not on my list. And then I see Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, and I was like, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna do it. It is still sealed, but I own it. So now, I have a bag. I have a tabletop game. I think it's official. Like I need to be knighted. I need to be hit with the sword like on each shoulder and call it officially a nerd.
Yeah, I won't lie. I was on Amazon the other day and I saw they had a sale on Marvel Champions, the core set, and I was like, man, I should pick that up for Aaron, because I feel like, because you're like a deck builder, right? Like you like to, but you're one of those guys, you want to have all the cards out. You want you want your own stuff. You don't want to use somebody else's stuff. So you want all your own stuff. You want to lay it out and you want to build stuff. But I was like, yeah, if I get him that, then he's gonna feel like he has to go out and buy like all the expansions for it. Because again, you're a lot like me. You're a completionist. You got to have it all. So I felt like I'd
I've
be
actually,
I felt like I'd be doing you a disservice, honestly, by getting it for
in
you.
my opinion, I really enjoy just playing it on the tabletop
It's
simulator,
very, very fun.
just because, like I said, it allows people that we have people like in our family that don't live so close that can't make the trip, or like I said, it can be kind of stressful to try to make trips like that and stuff. So to actually sit down and be able to play it for like a little bit of time. I've even noticed I've been using tabletop sim for a little bit more things. Like I just recently picked up Monopoly scripted and Life scripted because me and Maggie wanted to play a board game, and I don't have Monopoly, I don't have Life, and she loves those games. So we were like, all right, let's play it. And we sat there and literally took turns passing the mouse around and playing scripted games.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just go buy Life? You can buy Life for like $15.
So we thought about it, but it was kind of like we were already home,
Got
spur of
it.
the moment
Yep.
type thing. And I was like, why have tabletop simulator? Like we can play this whenever. Like we can always jump on and if we wanted to play with other people, we can.
Hmm.
So and like I said, with the Marvel Champions game, it if you're a person that's kind of on a budget or money's tight and stuff like that, and you're looking to play more tabletop games, find a good scripted version of it and run with it. I think it's probably the better idea because, like I said, I mean, it's free. You get everything.
There's a there is a like a cry out there for the board game companies, and there's a few that, man, they do not like their stuff on tabletop sim at all, because like you said, it is in essence free. You pay for tabletop simulator, but the game companies don't get anything from that. So it's it's kind of like a two-edged sword. See, I'm of the opinion that if you have a game of Monopoly at home, or you have a game of Uno, or whatever game it is that you're wanting, and like you said, and you want to play with your friends who live across the country or your family during the quarantine or whatever, but like you own it, I feel like no one should care.
Yeah.
But that's my thing, and that's why, like, when we're like, oh, let's sit around and play Champions online. One, the game sets up way faster,
Yeah.
and two, like, we get to play with Tadasu, where normally we wouldn't because he's 2 hours away. Plus, I
Yeah.
own all the cards, right? Like, I've bought everything, so it would be no different than you guys all coming to my house and taking my cards and playing with them.
Yeah.
So
Oh, for sure. I mean, like I said, I'm super excited about it. I need to step back onto the game because it's been too long. Um,
yeah, you'll forget like how to do stuff.
oh no, I remember. I like like I said, I mean, I sat there the one day and I was like, man, I wonder what I could build, or like, because like what's kind of funny is like I don't see a lot of content for Marvel Champions on like YouTube. It's always like, oh, here's this boss fight encounter. It's like there's no real like deck builder type like instructional
You
videos.
have to like dig, right?
Yeah, like
So I follow the Reddit page, I follow the Facebook group, and no offense to those communities out there, but man, there are a lot of fucking assholes in those groups. Like a lot.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But there are a lot of really great people, and I would say that there's probably like 1/3 asshole players, and then there's like 2/3 pretty cool, super casual people, and I there's I don't know how many podcasts about it. There's shows about it, but like I said, you got to dig. It's not going to be on the front page, and the problem that you'll run into, and I have, is when you search for Marvel Champions. Sometimes your search results will be Marvel's Champions of Contest or whatever, that mobile game, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's hard to find the content. I've thought about dedicating more time to making more content towards it, but I do like to play a variety of games, and I will say that their living card game formula that they're doing at Fantasy Flight is pretty good, because
Yeah.
they also did the Arkham Horror game. Um, but it's a great game, and I like that you feel powerful while you're playing the game. I like that. I like the art and stuff like that. And there's no really a story. If you're wanting to play a game with a story, don't play Marvel Champions. It's about just going and punching the villain in the face, and that's pretty much it.
That's what I like about it. I mean, like I said, I
Yeah.
mean, when I sit there and play, it's very easy to get into. It's
hmm
not like I don't feel like
There's
as
not
a
like
person.
you don't have to have a whole lot of backstory, right? Like you don't care why
No,
Rhino is breaking into the bank. And they give you like a sentence or whatever talking about what he's doing, and then you're like, all right, cool. It didn't take an hour to figure out what was going on or why he's trying to break into this facility. Do you really care? No, you don't care. You're just like, all right, let's punch Rhino in the face as hard as we
I
can,
I
as
I do
fast as I
like
can.
I do like a good punching. Like I mean, a good punch to Rhino in the straight grills is, I ain't gonna lie, pretty nice.
So
Uh,
the Galaxy's Most Wanted really ramped up the difficulty for the scenarios. And this is the second campaign box. And after the Rise of the Red Skull came out, a lot of players were like, "This game's really not that hard." So this is where I get into people are like kind of assholes. They're sort of elitist.
yep.
Everyone that claims to be super great at the game claims to play it on expert difficulty or higher, and they kind of tease the other people who just play it on standard difficulty. And I kind of fall in that camp of I play it on standard. I feel like standard is challenging enough to me, maybe because I'm not the best at making plays or thinking ahead, but I know for almost certainty that some of these players claiming to beat everything on expert and being the best, they are either misplaying or they are not playing like 100% legitimately, not stacking the deck, or because you're supposed to do certain things in a certain order. They might go, oh well, I would have done this instead. Like there's just no way. And the
Yeah,
best the best thing that like makes me think that this is true is the amount of people who claim that they have beaten the Collector or Ronan the Accuser on expert. Now I haven't even seen Ronan yet. He's the last guy in the campaign. I'm trying to just play through it. The first scenario was actually, it was pretty cool. It was kind of challenging, but it wasn't. I never at any point felt like I was going to lose. I felt like completely in control of the game, but that was just because of the way that I was playing. Now the second scenario, I don't ever felt like I've ever even been close to winning.
yeah.
I feel like from the moment that I get to the first set of encounter cards, I've already lost every time. So normally you have two ways to lose when you're fighting a villain. They can either knock you out, so they do damage to whatever, or they can complete their scheme. When you're playing against the Collector, he can beat you in three ways. He can beat you by scheming, he can beat you by knocking you out, or he has this other little set of cards called the Collection. So anytime one of your cards that's on the table, like basically like a permanent, not a spell. So
Hmm.
if it's on the table and it gets put into your discard pile, you put it into the collection instead. If the collection reaches 5 cards per player, so I've been actually playing two-handed, so for me it would be 10. If it reaches 10 cards, you lose. As an
Hey,
action, you can either exhaust your hero or spend 2 resources once per turn to take a card from the collection and put it into the appropriate discard pile. So I know you're thinking, well, how do you
My
want it?
I was gonna say my Wakanda Forever deck would get fucking smashed.
No, it wouldn't, because it's not your event cards. It's your upgrades. If those get taken out, they go in the pile. Your support cards, they get taken in the pile.
Yeah, well, if you're playing a heavy upgraded deck, like you could
And
get.
you cannot play with like a ton of allies, or at least you can't play allies in the way that you normally do. So make the call, yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. So these people who've been playing the leadership decks with make the call and rapid response have found that that's bad, because if you put rapid response on your guy thinking, oh well, he's going to come back into play, well, he doesn't, and you actually just added 2 cards to the collection.
Yeah.
So it's pretty brutal, right? Like it's pretty hard, because you're now managing 3 different things where normally you're only managing 2. Now the collector himself is not like beast mode, like he doesn't have any big attacks. I think his attack is 1, his scheme is 2, but and the scheme, like his main scheme, it's 10 per player, right? Like you're thinking, oh well, gosh, in a 2-player game, that's 20 threat that he's got to get to. But he's got some huge boost cards. The minions that are in his deck have between like 5 and 8 health.
Yeah.
Like, and when you beat his minions, again, it's from his deck too. They go to the collection. So it's rough, to say the least.
And
It's
it's
super rough.
yeah, that can be rough.
It's
I mean,
very
just
rough.
like I said, from what I can hear, it sounds tough. um,
If we would do this with Tadasu, he would pretty much have to change his entire strategy for playing the game, because of all the cards that he plays that are supports and upgrade cards that have so many uses, or after he can discard them, right? Like the counterintelligence and stuff, those let him draw cards. Well, if he plays that and discards it to his pile from play, it goes to the collection. So he doesn't get it back. It's gonna stay in the collection unless you get it back. So I think it's cool. I think it's neat that they are mixing it up. And from what I've read about Ronan, Ronan starts in play with like a ton of scheming. He starts in play with his weapon. He can't be stunned. He can't be confused. He hits like a Mack truck. Ronan doesn't give you any time to set up. It's just, let's go. We're doing this right now. Like we are battling. It's like when you're ready to do a UFC fight, and both guys came ready to battle, but the other guy really didn't come to battle, but the one guy did, right? That's pretty much what it's like fighting Ronan.
yeah,
But I think it's fun. But I like that it also challenges people, that they can't just keep playing the same deck that they've been playing, and let's do this. So ally heavy decks, bad. Decks with lots of things that have uses that go to your discard pile, bad. Um, and the minions, like they're huge, man. Like the enemy minions that you fight against, they're fierce, they're hard, they have they can confuse you, they do all kinds of stuff. It's brutal.
I was gonna say it sounds fun. I mean, it sounds very challenging. I'd be excited to see what it looks like.
I don't know that they've updated tabletop sim, but I would love to run this with you guys, because I've been playing with Rocket and Groot two-handed, and I like both the characters. They're both really fun. But I upgraded their decks. Like I'm still playing the same aspects they had, but I took some stuff out and made it my own. I have not actually tried any of my like actual decks, but I don't know that I would be able to even beat it with some of the decks that I've built. Like I'm looking at my Iron Man protection deck, going like, yeah, I'd get wrecked, because all my stuff has a number of uses. And then when they go, they're going to go to the collection. So I feel like it wouldn't be. I feel like
Wouldn't be a safe bet.
I feel like no, it wouldn't be a good bet. So, but yeah, I definitely would like to try it out with you guys. I think that it's different. I haven't tried any of the campaigns. I skipped completely over Rise of the Red Skull. I just because I couldn't even get past Claw for a while, like not that long ago. I had a hard time beating him, so I'm like, I don't want to run this campaign and then have Red Skull beat my teeth in. So
I just still remember the Ultron fight. That's still such a good fight. I mean, like I said, I would love to sit through and just beat all the bosses, whether it's standard and then epic, and just go through and beat all those. And like I'd be satisfied with just saying like, hey, I beat it all. Like I don't need to go heroic. I don't need to.
I've never actually ran the Kang one, because everyone says that one really shines in multiplayer. And they say in like single player, when you're playing by yourself, you don't get that same kind of feel. But he does, like when you get him to a certain point, because Kang is a time traveler, he takes your whole group, splits them up into 3 different timelines, and then you have to each deal with your own version of Kang in a different timeline. And I'm like, that's pretty sweet. I think that that's pretty cool. And you can't help your other friends because you're in different timelines. Um,
I mean, that sounds badass.
so again, like you've seen Rhino, you've seen Claw, you've seen Ultron, and they're pretty straightforward, right? Like for the most part, watch your threat, beat the boss, and deal with the minions as they come out. But there's not a lot of complication to them. They might get a card or something that makes them hit harder, or they might drop minions on you, but there's no other real complications as far as okay, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But the Green Goblin, when we tried that, that is different, like because he flips back and forth, and you got to deal with both his threat and his scheme, and deciding when you want him to flip and when you don't want him to flip. So I think that it's really cool that they've added all these little things into the game, and that's
I
why
mean,
I've been playing that
it
a
just
lot.
makes you it just makes you think. I mean, that's the whole point. I think a lot of times that some games miss out on if it's too much tank and spank type thing, like, and to like, hey, like do this, like again, okay, what if you make a super OP deck that you can pretty much just smash just about anything with, and in all honesty, the only time you really lose is if you draw bad,
Yeah.
which I mean, it does happen, but it's not unlikely. I mean, with all the ways to draw new cards and recycle the deck over and over again, shuffle your deck and stuff like that. Like it's very hard to draw bad. Um, I mean, that's my thing with it. Add the extra aspects into the game, promote more of the multiplayer aspect. Yeah, the timeline thing with Kang does sound really, and as from a first person standpoint, why even have the timeline? It's not even worth it, to be honest. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Might as well have, your two or three buddies. Like that's badass.
Mhm.
And again, like playing the game solo versus playing with people, I've had way more enjoyment because you're thinking the whole time, while somebody else is doing their turn, like, man, how am I going to be the hero? How am I going to be the guy that fixes all the problems? And then your homie fixes all the problems. And then you got to rechange your strategy. You got to rechange up your strategy and be like, man, these cards fucking suck now. Like, um, that kind of thing. Like I said, the game is really enjoyable, and I mean, I tell everybody like it's definitely a game you should play.
Yeah. And there's a ton of like really enjoyable content just in the core box.
Yeah.
Like I said, you get 3 villain scenarios, you get 5 heroes, and you really need the core box to even really start anyway.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but there's enough content just in the core box that you'll be playing that for like a little while. Um, like when we first started, I was like, "There's no way we're ever gonna beat Claw, right?" Like you could beat. I got to the point where we could beat Rhino pretty easy with just the core stuff. And but then I tried Claw the first time. I was like, "There's no way. This guy's impossible. He hits way too hard. He's got too many minions." And then we got past him. Then moved up to Ultron. But again, I think you got to approach the villain the way that you would approach anything. Like you can't, like you said, you can't just have this deck that just it smashes everything in 4 turns, and because it's not going to work against everyone. And believe me, the game designers know that, right? Like they're not going to be like, oh well, if you play this really aggressive strategy, you're going to win every single time. No, they do things to screw that strategy up. Leadership is the best aspect right now by far. Load your deck with tons of allies and win.
Yeah.
And then they come
Yeah.
up with the scenario with the collector that says, well, you remember that thing you were doing with all your allies? We don't recommend you do that because now you're going to lose faster. So I think it's cool. I think it's neat how it has evolved. And the next big
Oh, for
box is not
sure.
going to be out for a little while, but it's supposed to be based on Thanos, and I'm pretty excited for that.
I mean, I I don't know. I think it's like personally, I think it's awesome to actually be able to possibly even like just to play the game.
Mhm.
And all the core aspects of the game. I mean, I just don't think you can ask for better mechanics, better just overall, you know, straightforward rules, straightforward, hey, this is what happens. I mean, and it may take you like maybe one or two tries with the boss to really get down his whole mechanics. Because yeah, maybe the first time you play, you didn't play the one mechanic right.
Mhm.
Maybe second time you play it, you hit all your triggers and you get fucking stomped.
Mhm.
like I said, it's one of those things where it's a patient game. It's all about playing slow. And like I said, when you're playing with people, set aside a few hours because, like I said, I mean, two. I would say when you're playing with three or more players, on average, the game's going to take 2 hours.
I think that it's between 15 and 30 minutes for one player, and I would say that every player you add to the game is going to add at least another 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah. So
Easy.
I mean, we've played even in more pickup, more ramped games. Like, don't get me wrong, if we go play Rhino, Rhino's getting his ass beat in a fucking well,
At this
Rhino's
point
getting
now, yeah, I feel very confident that we could beat Rhino in less than 5 rounds. Yeah.
like I said, yeah, Rhino's probably going down within maybe 30 minutes max.
I think Claw might take us a few more rounds, but still I feel pretty confident that we'll beat him.
Yeah, like I said, it comes down to like, don't get me wrong, time is all based on like how fast you can kill, your draw X, Y, and Z. Like if you have the god, if all three of your players somehow magically get the god draw for 3 or 4 rounds, yeah, I bet you could beat just about anybody on the face on the
Hmm.
game. I mean, it's not unlikely. Like I said, I mean, there's people that have hit for 40 in
Oh
a
yeah.
turn.
Oh yeah.
One player hitting for 40 damage. Like I said, it's very easy to do with Hawk. You have two Hawk smashes, and
And your teammates
the
set you up with Avengers mansions and helicraft carriers, and
well,
and you've
yeah.
got the
I mean,
double resources, and you're ready to rock and roll. Like it can happen.
like the double resources. Like I think you can hit for 60 with Hawk. Because it gives you 13. Like the one is like gives plus 10 attack until the end of your turn,
But it's just for that attack.
just for that attack. So you bump it up. That's damage. You bump it up again. That's another 26. Like ready Hawk, ready do this. Like there's definite possibilities. And like I said, and I mean, I love the game. I think that the game with people is, like I said, it's 10 times more enjoyable. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just the playing solo, and that's the nice thing about it is that's the same reason why I picked up Gloomhaven is because you can play it solo. And because a lot of times it's tough. It's tough getting people to come over, play a game. And if you could only play one night a week and stuff like that, like it's all tough. Like I know as a person, like I'm a grinder when it comes to just about any game that I play. I want to play it for 15 hours, burn myself out in a week, but by golly, I fucking beat that shit. That's how I feel. Like it sucks when you're sitting there because that's what happens when you play on a week to week basis, like one night a week or even 2 nights a week. That group eventually falls off.
It does. That's
Um,
kind of been the problem with the Gloomhaven that I've been running, because I'm also running Jaws of the Lion right now with your dad, and coincidentally enough your mom. Your mom's actually like really into board games. Um,
mhm,
and we haven't played in like a couple of months. We got through the first four scenarios in the I'm sorry, the first five scenarios in the book, which are
mhm,
basically all tutorial scenarios, right? So, um, I'm gonna get you set up on Gloomhaven Helper. That app
mhm.
will change your life. I'm gonna show you how to do it the correct way without
Yep.
Gloomhaven Helper, but then you're gonna use Gloomhaven Helper and go, man, fuck all that. I ain't doing that no more. So,
Yep.
it's it's fun. There's also I have the scripted version of it on Tabletop Sim for
Yeah.
Jaws of the Lion, and like Tadasu, right? That's a game like right up his alley, and he would sit and play that with you. He would sit and play that with you 2 3 nights a week if that's what you wanted to do.
Well, that's kind of what I want to do. Like I said, I mean, we've talked about me and Tadasu doing like watch a movie or something like that together on Discord or stuff like that. Because with screen sharing and basically I can stream at 1080p, 60 FPS. Like
Yeah,
movies are gonna look fucking crisp. Um,
they're gonna look nice.
yeah, I mean, and like I said, playing board games and stuff. Like he told me he's like, dude, I kind of want to get some Marvel Champions in. So I was like, let's do it. And like I said, I mean, Gloomhaven, once I kind of figure out the base rules, I'd be down to learn it on Tabletop Sim.
Yeah, you
Um,
definitely want to learn how to play the game first before you
yeah,
get to tabletop sim. And I would say that for most of the games, like if you already kind of know how to play Monopoly or Uno, like you're good. But when you're dealing with a game like Marvel Champs, right? So you guys had played a little bit, but you guys were both learning the program and learning how to play the game at the same time, pretty much. Like it's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah, because the first time we played it took 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm not counting the deck building part because I mean that's whatever. That's just
That's just
necessary time.
part of the game, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not shocked. I think I'm excited. My goal is to definitely crack that seal open tomorrow and get some game in. That's my goal.
Yeah. Well, I will be happy to crack the box open with you. I
Like I said,
don't know what you're doing today, but I can help you today, or I can come over tomorrow.
as far as I know, the only thing I really have going on is I do have a Clash tournament for League that I signed up for.
Today?
Well, it was free. It was through the. It's at like
Oh,
8:45.
so,
It's at like 8:45.
dude, that's no. We'll never have enough time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. In all honesty, if I don't get people, I'm gonna kind of be sad, and that's probably what I will do for my night. If we don't end up playing, because we are still looking for one player.
Yeah. All right. Well, you'll have to
So
holler at me one way or another, but
yeah,
my suggestion, seriously, is get it set up. So when you open up the box, this is not like the actual for Jaws of the Lion. There's a little insert, and it basically tells you how to set your game up, like not to
yeah.
play it, but to get it in your box. How you're going to assemble everything and put it all. There's not a lot of assembly, but there's a lot of separation of stuff. And they
Mm-hmm.
give you a bunch of these like little baggies and stuff to keep all your tokens and stuff in, and it actually tells you that put these in this baggie, put the and then that way everything is all set.
Put it in bag A.
It's but it will still take you a few minutes to kind of figure that
Yeah.
out. But it is good. Don't stress about learning how to play or reading the rules or whatever, because it's not going to matter. When you pick up the first scenario, it's going to walk you through everything that you are able to do in a turn from the start to the finish. That's what Jaws of the Lion really was, though. It was to try and get people into it, because Gloomhaven is a monster, right? Like it's a massive, huge 20-pound board game sitting on my shelf, right? I picked it up and learned how to play it, and I was playing wrong when we first started playing. I overlooked the one like key word in the sentence, and it made the game real hard, like really, really hard. And I still almost made it to the end of the first scenario, but I'm thinking in my head, man, that would have been so much easier if I realized what that did at first. But
Yeah, I mean that's my thing with it is just like I mean I've played it twice, maybe only once. I know once for sure, obviously, but I mean, like I said, I think because I know you have, if I remember it, you have like a limited number of movement.
mm-hmm.
Like, isn't it once you're out of cards, the game's scenario is
Yep.
over?
So your cards are both your life, and they're well, not really. I can't call it your life. It's more like your stamina,
Yeah.
and it's also your abilities. So every round, basically, you're going to end up losing cards every round. So
Well, I knew that because
you have X amount of turns, basically.
well, I knew that because of the treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Because the treasure that's in the board, like you could just be out of stam and just never get
Like,
the
and
treasure.
you just can't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
uh,
it's like that though. It's such a unique game. There's no dice mechanics in the
yeah.
game, which is kind of cool. And um, and anyone who picks this game up and is like, man, I'm gonna beat this in a weekend.
Like
No.
I said, I'm going to confirm with my team tonight if we are playing, and if we are not, like I'm gonna probably message them right after the podcast. And if I get like, hey, we don't have a fifth, because the one guy on our team, he normally goes to bed at 6 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
in the afternoon because he gets up at 3:30 in the morning, not for work. He starts working on his like side projects. So he's like, he reminds me of like Michael Scott when he loses his when he has his own paper company. So you
That
didn't
just
see The
seems
Office.
that just seems sort of counterproductive though. Like, why would you not just stay up and get your stuff done?
Um, he uses performance enhancing drugs like Adderall.
Okay, got it. Yeah, whatever.
So yeah, that's what I tell him all the time. I always make jokes like, "You want to know why you're better than me at all the projects you do? Did you take Adderall? That increases your focus." But yeah, no, I mean it's he normally goes to bed early. Like So for him to even want to play Clash, like if I told him like, "Hey man, like, what if I let you go to bed tonight?" He'd be like, "Okay, have a good night." But yeah, I mean, I would love for you to come over and play. I know I'm not busy. Besides that, so you can come over and see my new floors.
Yeah, you might need to check with the other person that lives in your house.
She's not gonna be here.
Where's she gonna be?
She's gonna be working.
Oh, that sucks.
She's literally getting ready right now.
No, that makes me sad for her.
Yeah, I gotta make some. I gotta make some turkey cheddar sausages,
That
like
sounds kind of
brats.
good.
I know. I'm excited. I've been like we did like a massive store run, and like this is gonna be my closing topic. I mean, that's definitely my closing. I am now a crock potter.
Oh.
So New Year's, Julie brought a crock pot to me.
Mhm.
Not on purpose. She brought it for buffalo chicken dip. She's like, I have like 6 of these at my house. Like, take one. So I said, okay. I mean, I definitely want a crock pot. Like, it's a nice little small one, like perfect for queso and like maybe some like soup, like a little small thing of soup. And then her mom, same time, brought a huge crock pot. Like, was giving us one. And this one's huge. I mean, this is like a nice one. So we went to the store Thursday, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make some goddamn crock pot things, like something you just throw together. I made sloppy Joe, crock pot sloppy Joe, homemade barbecue sauce for it, and enchilada soup.
Yeah, I saw the soup.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. I mean, it took me like 10 minutes to make. And I was like, you know what? Like, there's so many times where, because like we do a lot of meal prepping here.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love doing meal prep because like it makes it very easy to just like, hey, I'm gonna pop this in the microwave, I'm gonna eat. And like I don't have to cook. Like I cook one night, I don't have to cook for the rest of the week. And we both kind of agreed like it's kind of getting stale where it's like you're not really eating ever a hot meal. It's a nuked meal.
Yep, it's always
Uh
like reheated unless it's a salad or something, but yeah.
yeah, like it's pretty much a nuked meal. And I was like, you know what? Like I want to make some hot stuff. So we got that, and then like I'm making buffalo chicken tenders, like homemade buffalo chicken tenders. I'm like, I'm the king of my castle right now. Like I'm getting the crock pot. Like I think I've had a crock pot going every day this week since Thursday.
That's kind of the funny thing about being an adult, right? Is like when you live by yourself and no one else is making your food for you anymore, you realize just how much that actually kind of sucks that you got to figure out what you're going to eat every night
Oh,
for dinner.
so like for me is like I'm so simple when it comes to just what I eat. Like I can literally eat anything. Like yeah, I could eat a bowl of cereal for dinner. I could eat a sandwich. I could just, I mean, literally have
Yeah,
a nap for dinner. Like
yeah.
that's what I'm gonna eat. Um, and it's just like I I would have never thought like 10 years ago. We'll say 10 years ago, like I'd get lit over a fucking crock pot meal. Like, fuck yeah, baby, we're making crock pot shit tonight. And that's when I know I became an adult. I get excited about that kind of stuff. Like I stopped thinking about boobs and butt, and now I'm like, man, you see that crock pot over there? It's got a high and low setting.
Dishwasher safe? Fuck yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, you see how shine free our glasses are with this new dish detergent that we're using. Like I mean, it's just like stuff like that. Like
It is
doing
kind of it is funny the things that you get excited about when you kind of I can't really say grow up, but like when you get your own house, when
oh,
you
I
are a
mean,
little bit
dude,
older, because like
I
I mean
lost my
we still get excited about like new games and stuff that are coming out. We're like, oh
I
yeah, that's
lost
gonna be
my
great.
I lost my shit the other day when I fucking like on Christmas when I opened up a fucking Ninja blender. I was like, you know how many smoothies I can make out of this thing? And I was like, and then
I'm gonna
like
smoothie every day. It's gonna just be smoothie
like
after smoothie.
me and Maggie were like super happy when we got the KitchenAid like mixer for baking and stuff, like ecstatic. And I'm like, man, like I said, my 16-year-old self would be punching myself in the face. I didn't
Yeah,
ask for
sick.
one Xbox game.
Your 16-year-old self had been like a mixer. fuck out of here with that. That's what your
Yeah.
16-year-old self be saying.
Like I get excited. Like again, you get excited about the little things when you get older. Like you used to bitch when your grandma would get you some socks and underwear, and now you're like, my fucking underwear looks like Peter Parker after he got fucked up by the Green Goblin, like
Yeah.
holes and shit all in it. Like,
Yep.
I
I mean,
mean,
just hanging on by a prayer, right?
yeah, I mean,
And then it breaks your heart too, like when you have to throw those away because you're like,
uh,
because like you sit
like I
down
said,
that one final time and then they're just done, right? They just rip all the way out. And you're
so
like, man,
so this is a serious question. Like, I mean, how often do you actually throw out all your underwear?
how often do I throw them out? I mean, I throw them out when they start getting holes and stuff in them.
Like, how old do you think is your oldest pair of underwear?
Um,
Like, how many years? I mean, it's got to be years.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely years. I don't keep them once there's no more elastic in them, basically, or if they have holes. So like if you go like this and you stretch them out, but like they don't go back into place, it's time for them to go. Those babies gotta go because they ain't gonna stay on your ass. I mean, why are you wearing them? Why?
I think my oldest pair
I'd
is like
say
freshman.
probably 6 or 7 years. Yeah, probably six or
Mine's
7 years.
freshman year of high school, so like 10 years.
Well, I mean, if you've got a pair of underwear that's still hanging on like that, you should remember the brand and go buy that brand again.
Haynes, if you are listening, I demand a sponsorship.
That's
Fruity the Loop.
that's actually some of the ones I have is from Hanes, like that I've had for a while. But
It's just
like
funny
the
because
last time I bought underwear, because I kind of go crazy about shit. I went and bought like 20 fucking pairs of underwear, right? Like
oh
so,
yeah.
you know.
And did you throw the other ones wet? No.
No,
Like
I
I kept
kept
them.
those and continued to wear them until they had hit the criteria that they either had
These are
holes
my
or elastic
hey,
was gone.
if girls can have sexy underwear, we can have our fucking underwear for the rest of our life. Like I said, I mean, you buy a fresh pair of underwear as a guy, and again, I mean, just I
It's
mean,
like a hug for your ass. It just is.
yeah. Like I
You
said,
don't realize how fucked up your underwear are until you go get some new underwear. Then you get some
you're
new
like,
underwear and you're like, "Man, these feel amazing. What's with these over here? Why do I still have these?"
I've never had my balls coddled like this in years.
It does. It just feels like a whole hug for the whole lower part of your body, like the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
super nice. Like they fit around your legs, they fit on your butt. Like you said, you
now
get
the
all that
worst thing,
you get all that support. It feels great.
man, I like how we just our evolution of just like how the show changes so drastically.
Well, like
We
when we started
started
the show, it was all about like
news.
nerd shit, and now we're talking about crockpots and stuff. So
I mean,
I guess my final topic of the day is I posted my second TikTok video ever.
I did laugh. I did laugh because I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what is he sending me right now? So, like I said, I was expecting something a little bit cooler. I was like, is he about to like is Godzilla about to just like swing in like RKO out of,
No.
or King Kong was about
So
to RKO out of nowhere?
the best part about it is that so I posted exactly two things on TikTok because I'm not real big into TikTok. And my first video, which I thought was hilarious, was the Michael Myers wearing the surgical mask right at the beginning of the pandemic. Got 8 views on that. That's right,
Sure.
8 views. So
Okay.
this other one I just posted yesterday, I've already got almost 300 views on it. So I'm like, oh, okay, huh?
Tell you, man, like TikTok, dude, like that's the thing about TikTok that's kind of like scary is like their algorithms and stuff. It only takes one video.
Well, I'm actually really pissed off at a lot of my Facebook friends because no one commented, no thumbs up on it, and I'm like, that shit is hilarious. It's funny. And if you don't think that's funny, we probably can't be friends anymore. I should have posted
He,
that disclaimer up there.
he like just starts casually like, oh, fucking Jerry from high school, you didn't like my picture? Unfriended.
Well, if I went through and unfriended everybody who didn't like it, I'd have 2 friends. So,
See it now. I just imagine you while you're checking there and waiting for people to like it, like you're putting the lipstick on, then you cross out the names,
oh yeah,
just like in Billy Madison.
you gotta do that.
I'm glad I called that guy.
Glad I called that guy.
But
Anyway, yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the show today. I'm exhausted. I'm wiped out from yesterday, man. Like I got
It's
up
all
in the
good.
morning and
Oh, I had to work yesterday.
cleaned. I cleaned all day. I got up at probably like 7:30 in the morning. Got up and had my morning cup of tea.
I can
Had
tell you clean. You still have the bottle behind you.
Yeah.
Like it's in the camera.
I cleaned. I did. I had my tea. I had my toast. And then by around 8 o'clock, I was like, all right, the birds were outside. They were chirping. I was like, you know what? I need to run the vacuum cleaner and I need to like mop and because I have hardwood floors and stuff. And I'm like, all right. So then I did that. I went in and I was like, I'm going to go take a shower. Well, I looked at my shower and I'm like, that's gross. I just like, I can't believe that I showered in that yesterday. Like, it upset me so much.
Sounds
I said, that's fucking nasty. No, we gotta do something about that. So I'm like on my hands and knees and I'm scrubbing it and I'm wiping it out. So I got that nice and clean. And then I was sitting on the bed right afterwards and kind of like, all right, now I'm gonna take a shower. Everything's all nice and clean. Now I'm gonna take a shower. And then I looked and I go, like I had this epiphany. I was like, when's the last time I washed the sheets on my bed? And I'm like, I think it's probably been longer than 2 weeks. It's probably time because I can't remember because it's like one of those things. It's a routine. I usually wash them like every like week to 2 weeks depending on activities and how much I sweat throughout the night and things like that. I live by myself, dude. So it's how many sandwiches I had in the bed. And so I was like, I think it's been a minute. So I started washing all that. So then I was texting my friend and I said, hey, I'm doing something right now. It's going to make you so horny. And she's like, what's that? I was like, washing the sheets on my bed. She's like, get out of here. I was like, you know what I was doing before that? She's like, what? I was like, I was on my hands and knees scrubbing the shower. And she's like, oh, daddy, have a baby with me now. And I was like, I knew it. See, that's what women want.
They don't want to clean the shower. They want you to do it.
They want you to clean the shower and to wash your fucking sheets. And with that, guys, we're off. Wash your sheets and clean your shower.
That's a good send off. That's our new our sign off phrase. Wash your sheets and take a fucking shower.
And
clean your shower.
Clean the shower. All right.
Clean shower, then take shower.
Yeah, clean the shower and then take one. But wash your sheets more specifically. No lady wants to crawl up in your dirty ass bed that you ain't washed the sheets since you moved into your apartment 8 months ago. Okay? No one wants to do that.
Honestly,
You know why
I only
ladies
wash
a
the
lot
sheets.
you know why a lot of girls will buy dude sheets as like a present? Because I know almost every dude I've ever talked to, it's like, yeah, man, my girlfriend, she bought me these sweet ass sheets. No, she bought you some clean sheets. She bought you sheets that didn't have your
That's the
crust
only,
on them. That's the only reason that you got new sheets.
what are you talking about? That's the only way to clean your sheets. You just go buy new ones.
You just go get new. You're supposed to actually wash them before you put them on your bed, but no one does. They're just like whatever chemicals.
Do
let's
you
roll
wash your
around that.
underwear? Do you wash your brand new underwear before you put
Yep,
them on?
all of them.
Really?
Dude, that's my balls.
Dude, I've never washed them.
Okay.
In
I'm
my
just saying I
defense,
do.
in my defense, I only buy packaged. I don't buy ones that they could have tried on at the store.
I'm not talking about that. It's just I don't know where it was before it got into the package.
I don't know either, but I doesn't feel any different to me.
It's just I wash everything that I put on. If it makes direct contact with my skin and it's clothing of some type, I'm talking like a belt or something like that, or shoes. Like I don't wash my shoes. But yeah, socks, shirts, pants,
Never.
shorts,
Nah,
t-shirts.
because most likely I went shopping because I was out of clothes. So
I need
I do take a
I need some.
I
new
do take a
clothes.
shower. I do take a shower before I put them on.
Well, I mean that's good.
That way, you don't want them to smell like ass. You want them to smell like they just got out of the package.
I want it to smell just like this package right here. I want it to smell like my package, not the package. Got it? So
It smells like it just came off the FedEx truck. FedEx by L'Oreal.
So all right, I guess this is actually the final thing. You're gonna laugh at this. So I was sitting at the I was sitting at the countertop today, and I'm playing Marvel Champions.
And then you fell off of it.
And while I'm sitting there playing, because I narrate everything to myself, like I say it out loud, so that way I can keep everything straight. The guy, I have packages coming today from Amazon, and the guy comes up to the porch, and I have my front door open, it's got a screen door, and I'm in there just talking to myself, right? Because there's nobody else in the room, and he's putting the packages down. He takes a picture, and then I'm like, I didn't realize he was there. Like for whatever reason my ring didn't detect him immediately. So I'm like, son of a bitch, and I'm yelling at the game, and this guy looks through the door like, sir, and I'm like, not you. It's like it's cool. I'm playing this game.
He probably was like, he was probably thinking in his head that, like, fucking Home Alone scene. I'll give you the count of 10 before I pop your guts full of lead.
Leave it on the
1,
doorstep
2.
and get the hell out of here.
1, 2, 10.
I do yell at
I don't know. Somebody
strangers.
named Snakes got blown away.
I do actually yell at people that come to my door now through the intercom, on the Ring doorbell. So I had a guy ring the doorbell the other day.
Yeah.
I don't know what he wanted. I don't care what he wanted, and I'm like, yeah, can I help you? And I'm actually sitting in my rocking chair. You can see me through the window having a conversation with this guy, and I won't open the door. I didn't even open. I'm yelling him through the intercom. He's like, "Hey, how are you doing today, sir?" I was like, "Are you selling something?" He goes, and I said, "All right, have a nice day." And then I stopped talking to him.
That's toxic.
uh, all right. And with that, wash your sheets and clean your fucking shower, and we're out of here.
See you, ladies and gentlemen.
I am Nictus from Nictus Plays Games.
I am a better coach.
I'm better coach.
Nacho.
And we will see you next week, next Sunday, if not sooner. We love you all. We have some strange topics, my friend.
Good topic, so.